Today's vlog is brought to you by Maggot Games. Coming up on today's show, we have a special show because it's Gaming Saturday. We have two video game reviews. First, we'll be reviewing Alien vs Predator for the Xbox 360 and Batman Arkham Asylum on the PlayStation 3. So that's all coming up on today's show, so stick around for daily vlogs with Connor Jump. I'll see you guys after the intro. Hi, I'm Connor Jump and welcome to episode number 15 of my daily vlogs. Today's day is Saturday, August 14th, 2010. These daily vlogs follow me on my day-to-day life with occasional updates on my currently in production web show. On today's show, it is Gaming Saturday. So, we've got two awesome reviews coming up for you of Aliens vs Predators on the Xbox 360 and Batman Arkham Asylum on the PlayStation 3. But, before we show you them, I just want to say something. I'd like to make I suppose this is an announcement. As you know, yesterday's vlog was the movie review, and there was some real technical issues with that, and that's why it's been uploaded today for yesterday. And this one, when you're seeing this, it's going to be later, I'm afraid. But technical difficulties on YouTube's part, so I cannot do anything about that, unfortunately. Okay, so as not to waste time, let's jump straight in with what I thought of Aliens vs Predator. Hello and welcome to our first review ever on Gaming Saturday, which is actually Sunday when you see this, because basically I'll explain it before I review the game. I've been working all night, through the night, trying to catch up because YouTube had technical difficulties which delayed Fridays, which delayed Saturdays, which will delay Sundays. So I've been pretty much up most of the night trying to work through this. Unfortunately, I'm still working on Saturdays now, and Sundays, even though it is Sunday. So, just bear that in mind, and I apologise for any inconvenience this may have caused. Now, Aliens vs Predator on the Xbox 360. It is a adventure shooter. It's a first-person shooter developed by Rebellion, and what do I think of it? Okay, so I'm going to assume that you already know what Alien Predators and all that stuff is, because most of you will have seen at least one of the films. If you don't, basically, it's sci-fi set in the future. There's the humans who basically come into contact with aliens, the xenomorphs, and it's one of these sci-fi generic, and the colonial marines, and we're just colonizing everything like we do, and then they get pretty annoyed at it, and big fights ensue. Now, what did I think of this game? I am quite a big first-person shooter fan. There's kind of the genre that I grew up with is FPSs, and this being an FPS, it's quite a special game to review for me. Right, well, let's talk about the single player, which I found most enjoyable. I enjoyed playing for all three campaigns. The Colonial Marines, if you've ever played a shooter, you know how to play it. Simplistic. You point the gun and shoot, and that's pretty much all there is to it, but don't forget to check your motion tracker. Playing as a xenomorph, I always had that feeling of I don't feel like I'm doing it right. I was doing it, I was getting through the campaign, but I felt like, oh, I should be using the shadows and jumping onto the ceilings and stuff. But I didn't actually bother with all that, I just kind of pounced and executed, and that's all I needed to do. So I wasn't quite sure about that, because was I meant to be playing it like that? But I'm sure some pro players will do it properly. If you're playing like Nightmare difficulty, then I'm certain you would have to do all those things, because the xenomorph dies insanely quickly. The Predator, probably the most powerful of the three, also the most difficult to play. At first, it's very complicated to get the hang of. I thought quite complicated, but once I got the hang of it, it's quite easy, I'd say, to play, like all three. But they have too much. It's overcomplicated with the gadgets that they have. So like I just use my melee, the cloaking, and occasionally the combi stick or the combi throwing disc thing, but I never really used like the laser or the mines. I just didn't feel they were necessary in there. They just overcomplicate things a bit. As a shooter, this game, unfortunately, I have to say, feels like kind of cheap, shoddy shooter feel. It's not Call of Duty. If you're a big Call of Duty fan and you love your FPSs like that, this isn't that kind of game. The shooting isn't accurate like in Call of Duty. It doesn't feel right like it does on Call of Duty, but it is damn good fun. You just spray a lot of bullets everywhere, mainly as a Marine. Aiming is kind of, it's a bit poor because you've got to aim so often, all these different things. You'd hope that there'd be some kind of, maybe even auto-aim at a point, but at least make the reticule better to use. But it's all kind of spray, melee, block. It's quite simple. Okay, the online. So, as you know, I am going to decide whether I usually recommend to you whether to rent or buy a game or a film. And multiplayer is frequently one of the deciding factors on whether you should buy a game or not. Because if you rent it, you can play for the campaign and have a dabble at the multiplayer. If you buy it, you've got the multiplayer for a life, or until they close the servers down. But unfortunately, it's not made by EA, and they won't close the servers down 6 months after launch. Obviously, this game came out this year, so we know what standards there are of first-person shooters, especially online. You've got, you know, your Call of Duty, your Halo, your Battlefield, and if you compare them with those, it falls very, very far. It falls far short of the mark. But it is great fun to have a dabble on the online. I played as a Marine and did exceedingly well, and I thought, because the xenomorphs die very quickly, you just shoot them. It's a tip of your Marine camp. Okay, that's all you need to do. Predators, if you can play them right, you will win every single game because they are so versatile. But I just couldn't really play them very well. Aliens, I had the most fun playing as a xenomorph, jumping around, slashing things. And once you get the hang of the blocking and melee thing, it becomes really a good fun. Now, would I recommend you buy or rent this game? I would recommend that you only rent this game, I'm afraid. For me, I enjoyed playing through the campaigns, which is something that doesn't happen in all the games these days. I have to admit, I've played games and I thought the campaigns were underwhelming. I did enjoy the campaigns. The multiplayer was fun, but there's no driving force. There's nothing that's going to keep me playing it like Call of Duty. I'm not going to come back and again to rank up and unlock new things because that just doesn't happen. It's fun to have a dabble with, have a mess around, but not to play the multiplayer like hardcore for hours on end. So, for me, it's just a rent I'd recommend. Unless you absolutely love the multiplayer demo, which you can get on Xbox Live, so try that out first. If you love that, then buy it, because you can enjoy the multiplayer forevermore. But, as a word of warning, I can't say that matchmaking is is great, and there is not going to be a huge amount of players on it by the time you do it. So, I give this game, Aliens vs Predator, it's over there, 7.5 out of 10. And now, our second game that we're reviewing today, which is Batman Arkham Asylum for the PlayStation 3. Now, Batman Arkham Asylum, developed by Rocksteady. I think it's developed by Rocksteady. I'm waiting for my confirmation in the background. Okay, developed by Rocksteady. It is developed by Rocksteady. Developed by Rocksteady Games. How many times do I have to say? Batman Arkham Asylum came out last year and won quite a few Game of the Year awards, so it's a big one to review. Let's start off by saying I love Batman. Batman is awesome, and this game is nothing less. Batman Arkham Asylum is a thoroughly enjoyable third-person action-adventure game, and you know, when I review this game, it is the definition of perfect. It's perfection in a game. because I've not really played a game with as much polish as this game, and really, it just. I'm trying to make this review a lot quicker than Alien vs Predator. That was like 10 minutes long, but the thing that this Batman game is, it's Batman. I don't have to explain it in a lot of detail. You walk around, you beat guys up. It's got a really good story. It's Batman. The Joker's awesome in it. You solve mysteries. You get to do all kinds of combat and stealth challenges. Did I mention you're Batman? And the characters really well. The universe is done really well, and also you're Batman.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Which is the most important feature. Did I mention Batman? Batman.
You changed all my classes, you little gay.
Batman is 100% pure awesome. That is a fact. But what is the game? So, okay, let me try. You are playing as Batman. You were just bringing the Joker to Arkham Island, the insane asylum for the criminally insane. And basically the Joker breaks out and takes control of the asylum, and you have to fight your way through the asylum and regain control of it. Along the way, you will be battling various enemies from the DC Batman universe, including Poison Ivy, Bane, and the Joker himself. And is that a crocodile I hear? Killer Croc is in this, and he is scary as hell.
Yes, indeed.
Indeed. Okay, so... Okay, snap judgment on this game. I would definitely recommend this for a rent.
What?
Definitely, 100%. Definitely rent it.
What?
Now, buying it, I'm gonna have to say, I 100% recommend you buy it. Unless you absolutely hate third-person games, you absolutely hate Batman, but you'd have to be a hater, complete hater of all those things. And
you'd have to be a fan of this.
I haven't met anybody yet who doesn't like this game. Batman Arkham Asylum is a fantastic game, an absolutely fantastic game, and so great that we're going to give our very first 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for Batman Arkham Asylum. So, that was awesome. And now, let's give it back to me to sign it off. And unfortunately, we have come to the end of our very first Gaming Saturday, which aired on Sunday, which makes no sense. And as ever, I want to thank you very much for watching. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Magegg Games. Go to www.magegg.com for awesome gaming news and stuff like that. You know the drill by now, guys. And I am now going to have to work on today's vlog, Sunday's vlog. So, I will see you tomorrow, but I won't. See you guys.